Hi there, it's Tim. I'm here at Ride the Glide right here in Victoria, BC, and what I'm going to do today is try out 3 different scooters. I'm going to try out a 08, a 09, maybe it's a 010, maybe it's a 09. I'll do quick zoom ins on each one, and also a Mercane. So we're going from 500 watt motors to, I think, 2 500 watt motors, or maybe it's a 600 watt motor on one of them as well. I'll give you all the details in the text down below. The idea being, I want to know what works for bigger guys. A lot of the reviews online all show people flying around on, and you know, they're like 150 pounds or 175 pounds, which is great, but I'm not. So I want to show you guys what it's like. I'm going to go on the same track, the exact same route for each of the scooters. I'll give you some B-roll of what it looks like for each scooter. And I'm actually got my stopwatch on here, and I'm going to do a timing test at the exact same spot going up a slight hill. Here we are at a fire hydrant, and this is our starting point. You can see the hill picks up in front of us. We're going to go right up to Central Public School and time it. As I said, I'm going to start my timer and give you a link down below as to how long it took when I make it to the top. 51 seconds, which is an arbitrary number, but it's up a fairly strong hill. Speeds were around 20 to 25 kilometers an hour, so what's that, about 15 miles an hour all the way up the top. And as you know, I'm a big guy, so for me that's actually a win-win. I chose this particular hill because this is quite reminiscent of some of the hills that actually occur around Victoria. So I'm going to head back now. I'm not going to record the going back part because I'll be going a lot faster, because most of it is downhill. Have fun, and we'll be kicking things off with the next scooter. And this is called the 010. And it is a 1000 watt motor, so I should be able to get this big guy up a hill. Here we are in mode 1, and we're going to now switch this over to mode 3, and we'll get on the trail here in Victoria, do the exact same route, and I will make sure that I get the time trial on that last one. So the 08 did the time in 50 seconds, and we'll find out how fast this one is. Share with you so far is that the braking is a little bit stronger. It's a lot quicker on the hills, and it's much more comfortable. Also the deck, what you stand on, you can actually stand with your feet side by side, and I have big feet, size 14 US, which means yeah, anyway, long story short, green light. The deck is a lot wider, a lot more comfortable. I thought the other one was fine, but this is just so nice and smooth. Wow, I can't believe it. So we're getting close to the hill, and then once we hit the hill, we'll do a time trial. Speed-wise, 30 kilometers an hour seems to be a really comfortable speed. When you get going about 30 to 40, it gets a little bit scarier. The 08 seemed to be on flat ground. The 30 kilometers an hour is about as quick as it went, and I'll put the miles per hour down below. But this one goes a little bit faster, and I'll get a more accurate reading in a moment. Now with the 010, we're back at the same fire hydrant. We do the same test. I'll zero this out. As I said before, the last one was 51.70, so that's the time to beat. Here we go. And that was 45.90, so almost 46 seconds. So about 6 seconds faster. And we're going to do a quick couple of tests here on how long, or sorry, on flat ground, what sort of speed do we get. Dropped off the second scooter, the 010. I'm here with Mike from Ride the Glide. Make sure, as I said, if you're in Victoria, this is the place to come to. So my question for Mike is this. He doesn't know it's coming, but what do you feel is, when you're flying around on these scooters, what's a comfortable speed for you? When you're like on a straightaway and you're going to set cruise control, you've got a long way to go, what's the sort of the speed that you find comfortable?
I myself, I can go almost about probably 3/4 to the max speed of the scooter.
Okay.
But that's all dependent on everybody.
Sure.
I mean, everybody has their comfort zone.
Do you have a speed that you like?
I like going fast. I like being right on the point of being scared. But if I end up getting a high-speed wobble, of course, yeah, you got to think of how you stand, how you ride, how you turn. So
I knew that was going to be the case, because I get the feeling that he was the guy, when he was in high school, had to find out how fast the car went. So my question to you guys would be, how fast do you feel is comfortable? Me personally, I felt really comfortable at 30, 35. When it hit 40, and on this one even higher, it got a little bit scary for me, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
but I'm also new to
be
it, so I
honest,
thought we'd
yeah,
ask the
they do.
expert.
Yeah, the slower you are, definitely they feel more stable.
They do, yeah. I thought at 30, 35 it was perfect. So thanks very much, Mike. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, this is the Mercane Wide Wheel. Let's give this one a shot. This is two 500-watt motors. So the first scooter that we tried out was a 500. This is two of them. One at the front, one at the back. One brake, and one very simple controller. At the fire hydrant, and the wide wheel has been flying along. It looks like about 50 kilometers an hour. It seems to be a pretty comfortable speed on this one, like that it can get to that speed. I find that too quick. I also don't particularly like the wide wheels. I find them a little bit, when you go into corners, maybe I'm doing it wrong, but the corners aren't nearly as stable, and the deck's not nearly as wide as the Zeros. Very simplistic design. Very, very torquey, and I think it's going to do really well with the hill test here. No! The 8, we did the 10, we did the Mercane, and we're going to try the 09 now. So the 09 is 600 watts, not horsepower, and we'll do the exact same thing we did earlier today. And then we'll do the test up the hill, see how long it takes to get to the top, and then we'll ride it back. And then I think I have a decision to make as to which one to buy. Which one would you buy? The suspension is a little bit better. Now that just might be because the difference between the 8 and the 9 is that the 9, both the tires are air inflated, and there aren't any solid tires. The rear on the 8 is in fact a solid tire. I'm also finding the brakes a little bit better. Now that again just might be, I'm not sure, but I'll check into that later. So now it's time for the speed test. Up the hill we go. 45 seconds, so that's really pretty quick. That's 5 seconds faster going up the same hill as the 08. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting a really like an incremental, maybe like a 1 second or 2 second. Now it's possible that the weather's slightly different. Maybe it's a little bit less windy, a little bit less moving forward. I noticed that the speed going up the hill was about, it fluctuated between 19 and 20 kilometers an hour, and I think that's really quite respectable. So, if that's something that can be maintained all the way up a hill like that, for me and my body size, that's pretty awesome. So I'm going to loop back now, go back downtown, and I have a decision to make as to whether to get the 8, the 9, the 10, or the Mercane. Which one would you get? It's not an easy answer, but good there are bike lanes. Anyway, I got a decision to make. Alrighty, so I pulled the trigger and I got the 09. And why did I get the 09? I thought it was a really good compromise. It had, the weight was not too heavy for picking it up and carrying it up the stairs to the top of the apartment. The braking system on it was excellent. The acceleration, terrific, very similar to the 08. Not much slower on the hill climb than the 010, and plenty of space for my size flipper for both. If I want to stand side by side like this, or if I want to stand normal, daffy, whatever. So braking I thought was really quite excellent, and for where I live in this beautiful town of Victoria, BC, and being a big guy, this is the choice for me, I think. So wish me luck. I'm gonna go take a look and ride around the harbor now. Cheers.